Oh, yes. So I thought I would take maybe another shot at Milo Yiannopoulos' birth chart because I did look around a little bit, and it does seem as if there's an alternate date of birth than the one I got on Astro Theme. That was 1983 as his year of birth, but I started poking around and I saw some other sources that had his date of birth listed as 1984. Same day of birth, October 18th, but 1984. Well, there's a year for you. It certainly makes sense in our new paradigm of where free speech and hate speech and thought crime and doublethink and all these things seem to be of tantamount importance to us now and on the tip of everybody's tongue. Now, this would still make his son in Libra, so he's still got that very charming, foppish, stylish, if somewhat, shallow persona. Whether or not you agree with his platforms or not, he's certainly got a way of charming whoever he's around. But this also might put his moon in Leo. And this is the spotlight. So these folks like to be seen. They like to be acknowledged and talked about. This easily fits. I mean, this guy is attention. Every single move he makes, he wants to be sure it's acknowledged on tape, having people debate about it. You name it. So Leo moon sort of makes sense. And there's still no birth time. No proper ascendant or proper house placement here, but if you default to, let's say, a midnight time of birth, which, I mean, could happen. People are born at midnight. Almost all of these planets seem to be between his midheaven and his ascendant. So all planetary energy seems to be craned between houses 10, 11, 12, mostly, and which also makes sense. I mean, everything is in the public eye. Everything is, particularly House 11, everything is in the media. This is all media. And we have, maybe it also gives a sun conjunct midheaven, so we see his name in the news, or at least on Twitter, every day. Mercury in Scorpio. So there's some scorpionic energy in this chart that there wasn't in the other one. So this guy cuts right to the bone with very few words and doesn't mind taking people to uncomfortable places. I know, I sometimes, he's got that effect on people. You know, you'll be laughing and you'll think, you'll say the most intelligent things but then you'll turn around and say something so awful that it just disgusts you too. But that could just be me, I don't know. He's also got Venus in Scorpio. So, I mean, this guy certainly attracts intense energy from everybody he interacts with. You know, like his recent appearance on Bill Maher and, people who are around him and with him. I mean, people either love him or hate him with very little gray area. And Venus in Scorpio has that intense sort of binary energy to it. Very black or very white. Mars in Capricorn seems a little odd for such a flamboyantly gay guy. Capricorn is so conservative, but when you think about it, what's his main platform? It's First Amendment rights. Very conservative issues. This is constitutional stuff. His support largely comes from the right with Breitbart and the Fox News crowd, and I mean, who would have thunk that would be one of the main guys that they were kind of rallying behind? I don't know now. I mean, new news has come up with some recent comments that Milo has made, re the topic of pedophilia. Now, I haven't dug into that yet. I'm going to have to, so with that in mind and that aside, I'm going to have to look at that a little more closely before I pass any kind of a judgment on it. Who knows I don't know about context. I don't know. I just sort of heard it in passing, and I don't want to dig into that too much yet. Maybe I will, though. Now, he also has a true north node in Taurus, which suggests that we might be seeing him for a while, or I doubt his platforms are going to waver if we do. And I doubt his acerbic, sarcastic style is ever going to change much either. And remember, Taurus is also a sign that, rules money and earning. So I know he had a book deal that had gone south on him, but something still tells me that if this guy decided to release a book, it's going to attract attention. It's probably going to collect money from somebody somewhere. So I don't think I'd be worried too much about it because one publisher pulled out. I'm sure there'll be another one along. But anyway, those are some different things anyway. So I suggest looking. As I said, this is not in depth. I don't have enough information to work with in depth for a chart full of aspects of with the outer planets and things like that. I think I would still really prefer to see a set of birth times. I can't even be 100% certain of that day of birth. That's just what I've seen. But if anybody has any more information, just let me know, and we'll see you next time.